Your role is not to be her therapist, but to be her rock. Show her what stability looks like by being stable. A woman in chaos doesn't need a savior, she needs a man who is so rooted that she can find her own footing beside him. 5. Never neglect your purpose for her. This is the silent killer of masculine attraction. You start dating, the chemistry is electric, and slowly, your world begins to shrink to fit her. The gym sessions get skipped, your business goals stall, and your friends see you less. Your purpose takes a back seat. The smart man's approach, his mission is non-negotiable. A woman is a wonderful addition to a life that is already full and meaningful. He integrates her into his world, he does not rebuild his world around her. The psychology, a man who abandons his mission for a woman signals that his core identity is weak. Women are drawn to a man who is on a path, because his ambition, discipline, and passion are inherently attractive. The paradox, the more dedicated you are to your own purpose, the more she will feel compelled to be a part of it. She wants to join you on your adventure, not become the adventure itself. 6. Never compete for her attention. You see her talking and laughing with another man. Your ego feels the sting, and you feel the urge to jump in, to be louder, funnier, or more impressive to win her focus back. This is a trap. The smart man's approach, he remains unshaken. He doesn't see her attention as a prize to be won in a competition. He is so secure in his own value that he doesn't need to prove it in the moment. He might even engage the other guy in friendly conversation. The psychology, the moment you try to compete, you broadcast insecurity. You are saying, I see that other man as a threat to my value. A man of true value knows his worth is not diminished by another's presence. The ultimate power move, staying calm, confident, and engaged in your own enjoyment is the most attractive response. The man who doesn't flinch when her attention wanders is the man she can't figure out, and the one she can't stop thinking about. 7. Never outsource your happiness to her. This is the foundation of it all. If your emotional state is dictated by her texts, her mood, or her approval, you have given her the keys to your inner world. This is a heavy burden for anyone to carry. The smart man's approach, he builds his happiness from within. His joy comes from his accomplishments, his hobbies, his discipline, and his inner peace. A woman is a wonderful complement to his happiness, not the source of it. The psychology, neediness is the ultimate repellent. It places an impossible demand on another person to complete you. Wholeness, on the other hand, is magnetic. It invites someone to share in your already fulfilling life. The core question, before you commit to anyone, you must be able to answer, yes, to this, am I already complete and happy on my own? If not, no relationship will fill that void. Your power is born from your self-sufficiency. 8. Never react emotionally to her tests. She might pull away, make a sarcastic comment, or flirt lightly to gauge your reaction. These are often subconscious tests of your frame, your stability, and your emotional control. Reacting with anger, jealousy, or neediness is how you fail. The smart man's approach, he observes, breathes, and maintains his composure. He doesn't take the bait. He might respond with a light-hearted joke, a calm question, or simply a silent, knowing smile. The psychology, these tests aren't about cruelty, they are about her seeking reassurance. She needs to know, is this man's center of gravity within himself, or is it in my hands? Can he handle my emotions without being swept away by them? Demonstrating strength, by staying grounded when she creates waves, you show her that your mountain cannot be moved by her storms. This is the stability that allows a woman to truly feel safe and let her guard down. 9. Never apologize for your standards. You desire a partner who is loyal, kind, emotionally mature, and adds peace to your life. These are not preferences, they are the standards of a man who values his own peace and purpose. The smart man's approach, he holds his standards clearly and calmly. He doesn't demand perfection, but he demands alignment with his core values. He communicates what he will and will not tolerate, not as an ultimatum, but as a simple statement of fact. The psychology: a man without standards is a man without a compass. People will often challenge your standards, calling you intimidating or too picky, usually because your clarity reflects their own lack of it. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. The final act of self-respect: if someone consistently fails to meet your non-negotiable standards, you don't get angry or negotiate. You simply, and calmly, walk away. Your peace is sacred, and protecting it is your highest duty. Master these 9 principles, and you will stop seeking validation and start making choices. You will stop chasing and start attracting. This is the path to becoming not just a man who gets the woman, but the man who earns the relationship. You've understood the foundation. These first 9 principles are about recalibrating your actions and reactions. But mastery lies in the subtler layers, the internal shifts that dictate your external reality. The following 6 rules delve deeper into the psychology of self-worth, communication, and leadership. Integrate these, and the change won't just be in your dating life, it will be in your character. Let's continue. 10. Never confuse attention for value. In the modern world of constant notifications and social media validation, it's easy to believe that a high volume of female attention equates to high value. This is a dangerous illusion. Chasing attention is like eating candy for dinner, malnourished. The smart man's approach: he is selective. He understands that one meaningful, high-quality connection is worth more than 100 fleeting validations from people who mean nothing. He doesn't broadcast his life to seek likes or DMs, he lives it for his own fulfillment. For external validation is a bottomless pit. It forces you to perform instead of being authentic. Real value is quiet, self-evident, and doesn't need to announce itself. Building his empire doesn't have the time or need to be validated by strangers. The shift: stop asking, how can I get more attention? Start asking, what kind of life can I build that is so compelling that the right people are naturally drawn to it? Quality attention is a byproduct of a quality life. 11. Never tolerate disrespect, even in small doses. You teach people how to treat you not by your words, but by what you tolerate. A sarcastic jab disguised as a joke, consistently being late, or flaking on plans without a sincere apology are all subtle forms of disrespect. Letting them slide is a silent agreement. The smart man's approach: he addresses disrespect early, calmly, and decisively. He doesn't explode with anger, but he does not let it pass. A simple, "that comment felt disrespectful, let's keep things positive," or "I value my time, so let's reschedule when you're sure you can commit," sets a clear boundary. The psychology: tolerating small disrespect signals that you do not value yourself highly enough to defend your own peace. It gives a green light for the behavior to escalate. A woman's respect for a man is deeply tied to her perception of his self-respect. The action: your boundaries are the gates to your personal kingdom. You are not being harsh by guarding them, you are being smart. A person who respects you will appreciate the clarity. A person who fights your boundaries was never planning to respect you in the first place. 12. Never seek permission to lead. Leadership in a relationship isn't about control, it's about direction, vision, and the ability to make decisions with conviction. A common mistake is to defer every choice: where do you want to eat? What do you want to do this weekend? Under the guise of being nice. This isn't courtesy, it's a vacuum of leadership. The smart man's approach: he takes the initiative. He doesn't ask open-ended questions that put the mental load on her. Instead, he presents clear, thoughtful options: "I've made reservations at that new Italian place you mentioned, or we could keep it casual and grill at my place. Your call." This is leading while still valuing her input. The psychology: indecisiveness is deeply unattractive because it shows a lack of vision and purpose. A woman wants to follow a man to a better experience, not drag him through one. Taking the lead is a form of generosity, it relieves her of the burden of always having to decide. The balance: this is not about being a dictator. It's about being the one who steers the ship. You can, and should, consider her preferences, but the responsibility for having a plan and making things happen rests on your shoulders. 13. Never fear walking away. Your greatest source of power in any negotiation, and any relationship, is your willingness to walk away. If you know, deep in your bones, that you will be perfectly fine, thriving, even if this connection ends, you remove all desperation from your demeanor. The smart man's approach: he enters every interaction from a place of abundance, not scarcity. He knows his value and understands that no single person is the sole key to his happiness. This allows him to engage freely, without the anxiety of potential loss. The psychology: the fear of loss is more powerful than the desire for gain. Hope you fail. When you are terrified of a betrayal woman that destroys you become clingy, agreeable, a man's downfall rarely comes from his enemies. When you are secure in your ability to walk away, it comes from those he calls friends. Authentic, uncompromising enemies attack from the front, which is inherently they are more visible, attractive, predictable, and easy to defend against. The goal is not to use the threat of walking away as a tool. They attack from within. The goal is to genuinely they wear your trust as camouflage, that your well-being study your weaknesses under the name of loyalty, and strike only when you're most uncharted. Confidence. They sit at your 14, table, drink your wine, and cheer for your victories, until your success starts to outshine theirs. They are one integrated system. Then their claps grow. How you treat your body is the most fundamental expression of self-respect. A soft, neglected body often reflects a soft, undisciplined mind. The smart man's approach: he sees his physical health as non-negotiable maintenance for the vehicle of his soul. Consistent exercise, purposeful nutrition, watch who stays and when you're broken. Sleep are not chores; they are acts of self-love and personal your leadership. Brothers. Everyone else was only passing time in your life. Achieving a bodybuilder's physique. They gossip behind your back. It's about discipline, energy, when a man speaks ill of you in your absence, a man he's declaring his alliance and with your enemies carries himself differently. Fake friends are your loudest defenders in public and your quietest critics in private. And deeply attractive. They'll smile to your face, then share your secrets to others, twisting details for attention. Emotional resilience. They feed off drama because it keeps them relevant in circles that don't respect them. Every single day, that you can say things like, discomfort for a greater reward. I'm not saying he's bad. This discipline spills over into every other area, but sometimes he's too full of himself. 15. Never stop your pursuit of mastery. Is a knife with your name on it. Complacency. A man who gossips about others to you will gossip about you to others. The man who achieves a goal and then rests on his laurels engraved in your mind. Solution. A high-value man is not a finished product. Never explain yourself to gossips. He is a perpetual work in progress. Silence is your armor. Always learning. Let them talk. Growing. You stay focused. The smart man's approach: truth has a strange way of echoing back. He reads, Stoic learns wisdom, new skills, seeks out mentors, said, associate with those who will make a better man of you. His identity is not in what he has already done, but in what he is in the process of becoming. Choose those who speak with honesty, not hidden daggers. The psychology: stagnation is boring. They only show up when they need something. Growth is exciting. A fake friend's loyalty is conditional. Self-improvement is dynamic. They appear when there's something to gain and vanish when there's nothing to take, because he is engaged in a great adventure. They text when they need a favor. His own life. They call when they're broke. This makes him an endless source of fascination. They visit when they're bored. The ultimate truth: your time, energy, your journey of and kindness become their resources, not your bond. A woman, a career, a lifestyle: these are all things you attract by the person you become on that journey. Focus not on finding the right person, but on being the right person, and everything else will align. Master these 15 principles. Let them sink from conscious thought into unconscious action. This is how you stop playing the game. 6. This is how you build a life so solid that the right partner isn't someone you need, but someone you proudly choose. One of the most bitter truths in a man's journey is this: because once growth isolates you, you'll start seeing a pattern. When you start improving, mentally sharpening your mind, recognize it in financially your building your empire, in the reactions spiritually mastering your emotions. This is standing a fundamental shift. They sense that the man they once knew is no longer theirs to shape, that manipulate, or contain. High-value men never do. They don't cheer. And once instead, you integrate them, they critique. You won't just understand women. You're not the same anymore. You'll master the most important relationship. You think you're better now, the one with yourself. The sting is everything else follows. That quiet tension is the silent whisper of envy. They feel threatened because your evolution exposes their stagnation. Every interaction. Your discipline highlights their complacency. You'll fundamentally change your ambition mocks their mediocrity, moving from a place of chasing to a place of choosing. Imagine you start waking up early, reading daily, investing, or building your business. I've created your friend once spent hours binge watching and a guide to unshakable confidence and authentic control. It's about building an authentic presence that draws people in. You can grab it for free using the link in the description or the pinned comment. Let's begin. 1. Never over-explain yourself. Communicating clearly and desperately justifying your existence. If you find yourself composing paragraphs to explain
They feel
a
off
delayed
when you're
text
happy.
or detailing your reasoning
Happiness
for a
is a
simple
light
decision,
that exposes
you've
the
already
shadow
stepped
in
onto
others.
shaky ground.
Fake friends
The smart
flinch when you
man's
shine.
approach, he is concise
Notice
and
it.
direct.
Who changes the
If a
subject
woman
when you
asks,
talk about your
why
victories?
didn't you text back? He
Who
doesn't
stays
launch
quiet
into a
while
novel
others
about
applaud
his
you?
stressful day.
Who never says,
He might say,
I'm proud of
tied
you?
up with work. The key
It
isn't
reflects
the
the
words,
emptiness
but
of
the
their
energy
own
behind them,
unfulfilled potential.
calm, assured, and
This is the subtle
unapologetic
form
about
of
having
envy,
a life.
the kind that
The
whispers rather than
psychology,
shouts.
constant explaining is a
Example.
scent of insecurity.
You just closed
It
the deal,
signals that you need
published
her
your
approval
first
to
book,
feel
or got
validated.
promoted.
The moment she
fake
senses
friend
that,
says,
the power dynamic
Yeah,
shifts.
but it's not that big of
True
a deal.
confidence is quiet.
Anyone could have
It
done
doesn't
that.
beg to be understood.
Or
It
worse,
assumes
they
its own
start
validity.
competing.
The
Well,
balance,
I just got
mystery
something
fuels
bigger.
attraction. Clarity
These are
builds
silent
trust.
attacks.
Over-explaining
They're not meant to help
destroys
you
both.
grow. They're meant to shrink your
State your
happiness
truth
to a
with
level they
conviction,
can tolerate.
Then let it stand.
Understand this.
If she respects you,
Your
she
light
won't
will
demand a
always
play-by-play.
expose shadows.
If she doesn't,
Your
no
responsibility
amount of
is not to
explaining
dim
will
it.
change her
It
mind.
is to stay bright,
2.
unwavering.
Don't chase.
Stoic
attract.
reflection.
Pursuit is
Let envy
intentional
be your
and
teacher.
directed.
It reveals who doesn't
Chasing
belong
is
in your
frantic
circle.
and desperate.
True friends
The second
don't
you
flinch
start
at your
bending over
rise.
backwards,
They rise
giving
with you.
unearned attention,
Learn
or
to
altering
celebrate your
schedule
own
just to
victories
impress,
first,
you
and
have
let the
entered the
fakes
chase.
reveal themselves naturally.
And it's transparent.
9. They
The
talk
smart
like they
man's
support
approach,
you, but
he
act
invests
like they
energy
don't.
where it is reciprocated.
Words are cheap.
He will initiate and plan, but he never doubles down on indifference.
Actions reveal
If she's
truth.
consistently slow to reply or non-committal, he doesn't double text or
The
focus
deeds
back
tell
to
a
his own
different
mission.
story. They'll
The
say,
psychology, people
I've
are
got your
inherently
back,
drawn to
always.
what is self-contained.
but when the storm
By
hits,
chasing,
they
you
vanish.
teach her that your attention is
They
cheap
promise
and readily
help,
available.
but excuses follow.
By leading your own life
They
with
side with
purpose,
others
you
behind
become
your
a
back,
magnet.
all while nodding in
Your
agreement
energy
in
becomes
presence.
the prize.
Example.
The truth, if a woman
You're
is
facing a
genuinely
challenge,
interested,
a
she will
personal
show up
conflict,
and meet your
a
effort.
career risk, a
Her
financial
actions
setback.
are your answer.
You call
Your
for
job
advice
is
or
not to
support.
convince her, but to discern
They
if she
smile,
is worth
assure
your time.
you they'll be there, but nothing
3.
changes.
Never prematurely reveal
No
your
action.
depths.
No
In
guidance.
the rush of a new connection, it's
No
tempting
loyalty.
to share your entire life
Their
story.
friendship is
your
all
childhood
talk,
wounds,
a costume
your
of
exes,
commitment worn to
your
maintain
deepest fears
appearances,
and dreams,
social
all
capital,
in the first few
or
weeks.
access to your energy.
This feels like
How to
intimacy,
recognize
but
them.
it's often emotional dumping.
Words without consistent
The
behavior.
smart man's approach. He
Excuses
understands
whenever
that true
accountability
intimacy
is
a slow,
required.
strategic
A
reveal,
pattern
like
of
turning
almost
pages
showing
in a
up
compelling
that leaves
book.
you alone in crucial
He
moments.
lets her earn his story through her
Lesson
consistency.
us through consistency.
The psychology creates two
demonstrated.
problems. It removes
Stoic
all mystery,
mindset.
and it can create emotional
Judge
pressure,
no man by
turning
what-
you from a potential partner into an emotional liability. It places a burden on a connection that hasn't yet been built to bear it. The power of patience. By revealing pieces of yourself gradually, you give her the space to wonder, to inquire, and to lean in. The stories you tell become more valuable because they were earned, not freely given. 4. Never try to fix her. Your instinct to be her hero, to solve her problems and heal her old wound. But in the context of a romantic dynamic, it is a fatal error. The smart man's approach, he offers a supportive space, not solutions. He listens with empathy, but he does not take ownership of her issues. He maintains his own emotional center without getting sucked into her storm. Her role is a parent-child dynamic, and you cannot be attracted to someone you are parenting. It also makes you responsible for problems that are not yours to solve, leading to resentment and exhaustion. A better way, your role is not to be her therapist, but to be her rock. Show her what stability looks like by being stable. A woman in chaos doesn't need a savior, she needs a man who is so rooted that she can find her own footing beside him. 5. Never neglect your purpose for her. This is the silent killer of masculine attraction. You start dating, the chemistry is electric, and slowly, your world